Now we turn to the escalating crisis in Ukraine with a potential Ukrainian counterattack looming and Kyiv experiencing a massive drone attack. Tensions are at an all-time high. For more on the war, I want to welcome in retired General Richard Newton, former U.S. Air Force Assistant Vice Chief of Staff, NewsNation senior national security contributor also. General Newton, I just have to ask you, where are things now? We've heard about the information turned over that maybe it was Ukraine behind that attack over the Russian capital, and now this drone attack here in Kyiv. Where do things stand?
Well, referring to that, what supposed a drone attack made by 2 drones back in the Kremlin back in early May, there's chatter, and there's really a low estimation in terms of whether or not it was Ukrainian, representatives or not. If our viewers will recall, but that's still to be determined. But it also shows the potential expanse of the conflict outside of Ukraine, that President Zelensky and his leaders may or may not have control on hundreds of thousands, if not a million or so, Ukrainians that are even outside of Ukraine. So nonetheless, but the recent attack that you allude to, Nick, that occurred late yesterday and today was the largest, certainly the Iranian supplied drones, those small drones, those Shahar drones, that Ukraine reportedly shot down most, if not all of them. So it appears that Russia is trying to pick up a little bit more momentum with what would be an air campaign with these drones and so forth, especially in the east in Bakhmut, as the Wagner group now is beginning to move out and turning it over to Russian forces, that there's a little bit of a slowdown, not a pause, but a slowdown in operations tempo on the Russian side. So this is all coming together. And Nick, as you allude to, the spring offensive may be just around the corner.
And General Newton, since you say that, is this evidence that the aid to Ukraine has indeed been beneficial? I mean, can you help us understand what the current situation in Ukraine is like right now?
Well, certainly, the United States to date has provided $37 billion worth of aid. But what's needed right now most, essentially, is, the timetable begins for this, what I anticipate in the next week or two, spring offensive, is going to be ammunition, it's going to be rockets, it's going to be some air defense systems and munitions and so forth. Right now, there are hundreds of Ukrainian soldiers training on those M1 tanks that the United States has offered up. They're training. My sources tell me they're training in Europe, probably in Germany. Not sure when the M1 tanks will actually get on the battlefield, but it could be in the next several months or so. But nonetheless, and then there is the breakthrough announcement that President Biden is supporting F-16 training for Ukrainian fighter pilots. We won't see the F-16 in the skies over Ukraine probably until late fall or maybe early winter or so. But still, that bodes well, I think, for Ukraine.
And General Newton, and that's simply because of the amount of training required to actually operate that F-16, not only getting it transported over there. How do you see the U.S. contributing to the resolution of the Ukraine crisis? And what are the potential risks and rewards of our involvement? Because those F-16s kind of ratchet up the heat a bit, don't they?
Well, they do. I wouldn't necessarily put it on the side of ratcheting up the heat. It provides tremendous capability for Ukraine to protect its airspaces, being surrounded by Russia and up there in the north by Belarus. But also, it'll provide exquisite close air support for Ukrainian forces on the move and their combined arms tactics with regard to tanks and infantry and even some artillery. Now, Putin, over the last several months, certainly since the campaign kicked off the attack kicked off in 2022, last year, has always had some bluster with this, threat of using tactical nuclear weapons and so forth. That he hasn't followed through with, thankfully. But nonetheless, I think this is a time for the United States. It's time for the United States-led, allies supporting Ukraine to be bold and not to really, have any type of, sense of walking away from a position of strength to enable Ukraine to finally kick off this offensive and really perhaps do some good in getting, some victory on the battlefield for Ukraine. Whatever that means, I still don't have an answer for what that is, but nonetheless, for them to be successful and see if we can, get through a negotiating position right now out of strength versus weakness. I think that's a real key here, Nick.
And we know that the U.S. is heavily invested, and we are advocating for their success.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.